guys, it's Sarah Beth here. I've never done this option before. Finally, my channel has the option to go live. So we're gonna go live. So how are y'all doing today? So we finally had like a first real good frost this morning. We've had a couple of them in the past couple weeks, but it hasn't been anything that has actually killed the tomatoes. I've been extremely blessed and lucky. Been literally harvesting tomatoes off of my tomatoes pretty much since August, and so I had a lot of tomatoes, but the frost finally got hold of these tomato plants. All the green is dead on it, and I kind of just wanted to show y'all what's been going on, what's going on with the garden right now. I do have a couple winter crops planted in there, and I'll show you all that and just kind of show you the last remaining fruits that are on the tomato plants, because I'm going to have to pick those. I obviously don't want the frost to damage those. But yeah, so let me see how I can, apparently I can rotate this thing. This is super cool. Have y'all ever done this before? Let me know if y'all jump on here where you're from. But yeah. Okay, so look what happened. This is a frosted. We had a really hard frost. It killed the lettuce and mostly the broccoli. I don't think that it's gonna bounce back from this. You can see it just killed everything. So this is what happens when a frost comes through. All your frost tender crops, the frost will take them down. So like your tomatoes, squash, cucumbers. I had a cucumber in there, you know, cantaloupes, watermelons, anything that's been hanging on, the frost will take it out. So like here in Tennessee in zone 7A, we're in the hollers and hills. We really just had our really first hard frost this morning. So we were blessed with kind of a later growing season. The cutoff for the frost date is usually around October 15th, but it kind of got, I feel like this year we got a little bit longer time. But you can see here, I still got a bunch of green tomatoes all over these plants, and this is like the third time that I've harvested these since probably September here, and they're a lot smaller. You know, these are beefsteaks, but myth is, hi, I see one person on, where are you from? These will actually ripen off the vine. So that's a myth. You can pick the green tomatoes. You don't have to fry them up if you don't like green tomatoes. They will actually ripen off the vine, and that's how I've gotten most of my tomatoes this year off of these sets of tomatoes here. There's probably about 12 plants here, and because I had tons of trouble with, y'all know from my previous videos, hornworms and different type of tomato pests. So you can see right there, it's probably a fruit worm there burrowed into that one, so I might probably just throw him out. But I'm just going to go on and harvest the rest of these, and they should ripen up to the last of the tomatoes this year. Actually, I'm growing some tomatoes inside right now. I was gonna get a grow light. I don't know if y'all ever had any success with that before, and see how that goes. You got a little hole right there. That's okay. But this plant is not going to survive another hard frost. I'm thinking this is probably it. And I had transplanted several, I'll flip you guys back around. You don't want to see me harvest all these tomatoes. Transplanted several little plants from these. I had made clippings, and y'all know from a previous video, I had successfully cloned tomato plants. And so I actually put those in pots, and I made a mistake. I didn't get them inside before last night. So they're most likely all dead. They're not going to make it. But that's okay. It's part of gardening. So, yeah. So I'm looking around here. I don't know. Do y'all see any more? I don't know. We got a couple tomatoes. And there's a couple on the other side too. There's some Creoles. The Creoles just look terrible right now. I see one right there. Oh. So, as far as fall crops go, I directly sowed some carrots yesterday. That's a tiny one. That's probably not going to do anything. And Toby and I had sown some sugar snap peas, these heirloom sugar snap peas, several weeks ago, and they've popped up and they're looking great. So I'll show those to you guys. So go over to the other part of the garden and It looks quite bare now. I don't see any more tomatoes. Let me know if I missed any on the replay, but yeah, it looks quite different. Yesterday, I took out the rest of the zinnias. You can see over here, here's the remnants of those gigantic, beautiful zinnias that I had. And I cut the remainders of the flowers off of them and made a beautiful ball jar of the last remaining zinnias. But this is what the garden looks like right now. It's just super bare. Super, super bare. Got a random bean plant right here. It's got a little flower on it. That's surprising. There's a green bean. But yeah, I had some broccoli going in the house. That obviously didn't make it really from the frost. Broccoli is not really, it's not going to be able to withstand a heavy frost very well. And it looks like we've got a little butterfly over here. Hi. That's some spinach. And this is some kale. It looks like the kale is probably the only thing that kind of made it through that hard frost. The spinach looks good too. So those are usually really good with frost. Probably better than broccoli. And then the lettuce just totally obviously didn't make it. This was all live yesterday and good. It wouldn't have made it anyway. But yeah, this is what's going on with the tomatoes over here. You can just see they're totally done. And you got tiny little tomatoes on here. Those are those beefsteaks. But there's tons of, hi pretty butterfly, Creole tomatoes all on on this vine here. And so I just need to go on and pick all of these up because that one's probably not good. Just toss it over there. These will ripen up, like I said, off the vine. So I'm just going to go on and pick all of these. And you can see that one's already getting ripe. But it looks like the frost might have gotten to some of these. But there's a bunch of them. There's tons of them all over these plants here. But you can tell that's what the frost did. They're just toast. They've got a couple good ones over here. Several good ones. They'll ripen up nice for a sandwich. Just a bunch of them over here. But yeah, so I put carrots in here. I've got this sitting on here because the seeds are so small. And just keep some pressure on it. So the seeds kind of, while they're germinating, don't kind of fly away. And it keeps moist. And I did this kiddie pool thing. Toby and I literally just drilled some holes on the bottom of it. So that's super cool. I'm in the middle of right now of doing these raised garden bed project. Looks like the potatoes over here are probably done, ready to be harvested. The frost killed them too. So I have to harvest those. That was a random tomato in the compost that was coming up. You can see there's one tomato here. And that guy's not going to make it, so I have to pick him off. You never know. This state is kind of crazy. Sometimes we have like 70-degree weather in the middle of winter, but just the plants, they can't handle it through the frost. So come over here to these sugar snap peas and I'll show y'all what they're doing. I put them in these raised bed horse troughs where I had my winter squash, where you've probably seen from a previous video, and I'll show you what they're doing. So they're looking pretty good. These are cold hardy. They can handle a frost. So these are they're heirloom sugar snap peas. And they're probably a couple weeks old now, maybe 2 weeks old. You can see this one's already putting its tendril off. These are climbing. They'll go up this trellis, kind of like with those squash. Same on this side. Toby actually planted these ones in here. He put 2 in one hole, little cutie. But they're doing pretty good. I need to get in here and mulch it. And then as far as my plans, I've got plans for, these are where the watermelons were. I'm sure y'all remember. I got this all weeded out. I was going to put something called dragon's tail radishes in here. They're like a claiming radish, and they're actually interesting because they're harvested for their purple bean pods. They're kind of like a slender bean pod, and they have a radish taste. So I'm planning on putting those in here. But yeah, the garden is just totally looking really just bare and sad, and it makes me super sad. But yeah, I guess that's life. I've never had a fall garden before. This will be interesting. I don't know if the carrots are going to actually germinate because it's really cold. I was supposed to plant those, I think, last month. But I have several other things that I can plant in this month, like those radishes. I can plant some more kale, hopefully, I think. And I'm trying to think, I have carrots, beets, which I probably should have planted last month, bok choy, arugula, which can definitely be planted this month, and several other things. But yeah, let me know what you guys have planted in the winter months with success and their success with germination rates. But yeah, Chevy's grave is just looking. This is what the frost does, killed all the flowers. But yeah, winter is upon us. So yeah, I just wanted to pop on here really quick while Toby's napping. Kind of just let y'all know that I haven't completely and totally disappeared. Just been really busy. I do have plans on, like I said, doing those raised bed projects. My neighbor is probably going to help me out with that. He volunteered his help to me, and now is the best time to do it because it's cooler out, you know, instead of trying to do everything in the heat of the summer. Everything's dead and dying, so you're not, you know, fighting with weeds and stuff like that and grass growing all over the place. So probably like right in this area. I haven't decided. I might take all of these plants out. Sorry guys, I had a notification. Out here in this in-ground garden and kind of like move all this and kind of make this just like a area for potatoes. And then I'm just going to continue on like this way with the raised beds all the way to the field edge and have this whole area be raised beds. So we'll see. That's a project in itself. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well and be blessed, and see you next time. Bye-bye. How do I turn off this thing?